to elevate now.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What?
Hello.
Hey,
How
what's
are you?
going on?
Not much.
What is this?
We just wanted to come hear you pray today. We thought,
I'm here just for
we're
that.
gonna go listen to
Wanted
James.
to be
You're
blessed
like,
by
wow.
Pastor James.
Well, that's very nice of y'all.
It's Economic Development Week, so the city's
Well,
doing
I just
a
saw they're making
proclamation.
a
Yeah.
proclamation.
Chris is walking over here shortly.
Are you gonna get up there with Pringles?
No, I'm not. This would be my child's snack that she needed to have before coming to city council. Sit appropriately. This is not a movie theater. There you go.
So where have you been today that you've been dragged from to come here? What have you been doing?
School.
School? You got picked up from school and brought here? Are you in middle school?
Elementary.
What time do they get out?
2:30. She stays in after school, but then I picked her up and then jetted back over here because husband's working late tonight.
And where are you in school? What's the name of your school?
Nebo.
Nebo?
Elementary.
All right.
It
Hey,
is.
what's that? Very pretty tonight. That was Friday. I got to spend the whole day with him Friday. Yeah. That's my buddy. Yeah, he's the best. Yeah. Happy kids. Just makes everything a little sweeter.
So you tell
Highly recommend it. But not in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Hi. How are you?
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you, girl?
We're gonna get out, break out for the sun.
We're counting down the Mondays.
Grandmother. What? Well, you look like your mommy, but I see grandma in your face. I think she just put it on you because you're
You also look like
I know. I think we all you just look exactly alike.
But I see grandma's face. That's so sweet. It's a blessing. It's good to see you.
You too. No news that you were a baby. I used to think she looked just like Dr. McStuffins. She just, first time she learned she looked up when she was like, are you Dr. McStuffins? I was like, no, that's Madam Mayor Rachel Robinson, not Dr. McStuffins. He's this.
Project that I think about, and it came to mind as somebody who did resource.
Okay.
Or buy like an old hotel, motel,
You're speaking my language and
and then make it nice, and then use it as a place to help with transitional housing.
are you gonna put daycare on it?
Wide open to that.
I think we need daycare
But
here.
and to hope find some public space there to operate like her circles out of. And training,
yeah.
training program.
What about the Lee Motel on Highway 5?
But I thought about a lot of it. But the fact is, the biggest hiring resource out of county is over there by all the manufacturing facilities. Right? So
Yeah, but
the new company, I would think you over there to have access.
for years, so there's this program in Louisiana that, and it doesn't have to be an industry specific, but it's a women in construction, and they take transitional women, either coming out of drug rehab or abusive, like tons of transition purposes, and they put them through training for the construction industry, but then they have employment partners, and they shuttle them. So they give them housing, childcare, education, stability for like 12 to 18 months to get them stable and functional. But then they partner with a certain construction company where they drive them to work every day on a shuttle. And
Yeah, because that's
I've always
people we
wanted to do
help. It was
something
like
like
really.
that.
I mean, like we got somebody in Villa Rica right now
Yeah.
that we help it out, but there's no bidder to a place to get a better job.
Oh, I know. The transportation piece is the.
And then I need capital to make that happen.
You need
And I'm
capital.
wondering if all those companies are going to need sense of, that they would be willing to put some capital out for the benefit there.
Potentially.
Because I mean, that's a lot.
The lights are turning off and on like at the theater. Bing, bing, bing. It's 6 o'clock, council. 1 minute? Okay. Okay, we are waiting to get our, our technology to catch up. Are we ready, Ms. Acker? Okay. We apologize for the delay. We are updating our system to reflect our agenda items, and then we'll get into our meeting this evening. Did it transfer? I apologize. Okay. We have to add another item? Okay, so it's ready. Okay, great. Do we need to go back and refresh? Okay, so council members, go back, refresh. It has an update icon on there. Mine had an update. Okay. The agenda item. Boop. Okay. Think everyone has it? Okay. Technology is making sure we all have the same item. Okay. We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council regular meeting for tonight, which is Monday, May the 6th, 2024. Our invocation will be done by the esteemed Pastor James Harper of the First Presbyterian Church of Douglasville, and after that, we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem, City Council Member Terry Miller. Please stand for the invocation.
Good evening. It's good to be with you. Sorry I couldn't pray earlier over technology. I have no authority in that realm. Let's pray. Lord God, I give you thanks and praise for these elected leaders, for the staff. I thank you for creating them, forming them, calling them people made in your very image and valued and esteemed. And I pray that they would know that, they'd feel that would be affirmed in them and the work that they do. God, I pray for them to have many good days where all is well and they feel productive. And I just pray that you would bless them with more than they'd expect of those, but also pray for them when the days are challenging, when the work is hard. I pray that you give them the wisdom to know what is right. And I pray that you give them the courage to do what is right, even if that means disappointing people. We can handle that, but we want to seek what's best for this community, and that's sometimes hard. And I just pray that they would know affirmation of what is right, and I pray that we would be a community that seeks what's best too. And God, through them, do good in this place. And we pray these things in Christ's name. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, Pastor Harper, for giving us that eloquent prayer. We appreciate the blessing. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council. This is a regular meeting where agenda items will have official action taken this evening. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'm mayor of the city of Douglasville, and we're excited to have you here this evening. If the business you're here for is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the comments from citizens and delegates section for you to discuss your business. I'll go over a few protocol issues, and then we'll get right into the meat of the meeting. I ask that you would please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not accept comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual, not calling out anyone's names or any group of individuals, saying you all or you people. We just ask that you'll be professional and stick with the facts. You'll receive a warning from the chair for the first time if you deviate from that requirement, and after that, you will request that you will leave the chambers for the evening. Only one person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud, react to speakers, or speak from the audience, or carry on a conversation when you're at the podium. Address all of your concerns and comments to the chair, and then we'll take action on those items as you present those through staff or through our council that's here. We're only required to accept public comments during the required public hearings. And if you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask that you'll please put those in silent mode or turn those off until after the meeting so they will not be disruptive. Now, this is how the agenda items will be handled. The committee chairperson will read their agenda item. Then that person representing that agenda item or applicant will make his or her presentation. Myself and council members will possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make our determination this evening. If you have new information, you can bring that forward. After that, the committee chairperson will ask for comments or statements from the audience if it's a public hearing, and you have 20 minutes for those in favor of the item and 20 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. Only one person speaking at a time. And before you speak and come to the podium, we ask that you please fill out a speaker form. There are little blue cards. If you would fill that out with your name and address, hand that to our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, to my right, and then you can come to the podium and give us your concern. This is not a question and answer format or debate. We won't go back and forth. You'll just hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. And if you have printed material, we ask that you give those materials or anything that you like for us to see to our city clerk, and she will make copies and pass those copies out to myself and council members. That's a lot of information. Hopefully everyone's on the same page. And now we will move on with the agenda. There are copies outside if you like a paper agenda on the desk out there, or you can follow us on this technology on the screen. So we're now at item number 4. And we have 2 proclamations to present this evening. And the first one is May 19th through the 25th, 2024, is National Public Works Week with the theme, Advancing Quality of Life for All in the city of Douglasville. And I will read this. I don't know, Mr. Roberts, if you're going to come up to receive this for Public Works Week. Mr. Roberts, how long have you been here with us, Mr. Roberts? Has it almost been 35, 40 years? 32. That's a long time. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Gregg. You do an awesome job. So I will read this National Public Works Week, and he's bringing Miss Melissa Dickinson down, his deputy, and then we'll present, and you can say anything that you'd like to say. But we really appreciate all the work that you all do for us to help Douglasville to stay a great city and how you look after the citizens. Your job affects everyone in the city with picking up our trash and our roads and keeping everything just wonderful. So we appreciate you. But it says, Proclamation, National Public Works Week, May 19th through the 25th, 2024. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainability and resilience in our communities, and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the city of Douglasville to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year of 2024 marks the 64th Annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canada Public Works Association. Be it now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, do hereby designate the week of May 19th through the 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens with responsibility for the American Public Works Association and government agencies and activities, events, ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, our engineers, managers, and employees, and recognize the sustainable contributions they make to protecting our nation's health, safety, and advancing quality of life. It should say City Council on here, too. I don't know how that got left off. But so we proclaim, I'm reading it, but it's all of us, we proclaim May 6th, 2024 as National Public Works Week. Let's give our director, Mr. Roberts, and our deputy director, Ms. Dickinson, a hand for the things that they do as they lead us. Would you all like to say anything, Mr. Gray?
Yeah, just real quickly, thank you, Mayor, Council, and other staff and citizens at the top of that list, obviously. Yeah, Public Works is one of those groups that they do a lot of things, not just here at the City of Douglasville, but all across the nation. They may not be the first responders, but they are definitely the second responders, and between in-house employees and contractors that we bring in, the worst yet best example is the floods of 2009, for those that are familiar. Well, some of those we didn't finally get those paid, get paid back by the Fed until about 2 or 3 years ago. So it took a long time, but we worked for 2 or 3 years. But because this city has always had a reputation for being financially sound, we were able to get started and get roads open. A lot of people didn't really realize what happened, but we really made a lot of quick action here at the city after that flood to get Chapel Hill Road opened back up down at Fowler Field. You know, it wasn't a time to squabble over who had the right-of-way responsibility. We knew it had to get opened.
Right.
And had we not acted within that 72 hours, it would have probably been 18 to 24 months before that road would have opened. Can anybody imagine? Because a 15-minute drive was taking 2 hours for about a week. And we had that road open back up in less than 10 days. It was really a miraculous thing when you look back on it. So Public Works has a very vital part. It's not just picking up garbage. It's not just cutting grass. That's what we do every day.
Yes, sir.
But it's those things when something happens, we're there to support the first responders of police and fire. Once the area cools down a little bit, literally, we come in and help, and that's Douglasville. I have always said we're a little bit of a hybrid of other cities because we tend to get a little more involved with our police, and fire, probably as compared to other communities that do not have that support. And that's always been a great reputation here at the city. I hope that maintains for a number of years to come. I'm confident that it will.
Yes, sir.
But I do have Melissa Dickinson, the Assistant Director, and Todd Dresdo is one of our very important
Hello.
people. I can't remember his job title, but.
I know.
and
He
then
comes in the
Krista-
middle of the night to plug in lights and all
He
kinds
sure
of stuff.
does. And Todd has been proven to be a great asset, and Krista Taylor, that she's recently Taylor. She got married about a month ago.
Okay.
And we just have a lot of great people, and they respond quickly. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Oh, you're welcome.
And Ms. Hampton and the entire City Manager's Office. We have a great staff here at the city, and it's the best it's ever been. And that's
Yes,
true.
sir.
And a lot of people have to take credit for that, whether they want it or not. It's the best it's ever been,
Oh,
literally,
thank you.
across the board.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. We appreciate everything that you do. Snowpocalypse comes to mind. I don't know if that's the official name, but when it snowed really bad and you all were able to help citizens get back and forth, and of course, during the pandemic that we just had recently, we had 1 week where we could not get to the trash, and people, because everyone got sick. You all didn't. City Hall didn't close down. We just kept going. So we appreciate that. And if you don't mind, just sharing a little bit about the recycling center that's coming up, that will come online next year. I know that has been a hot topic, and we're going to address that.
It has been a hot topic and still is,
Yes,
and we're
sir.
talking about it every day. But as we discussed a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, when we made a presentation to you guys, it's a little bit behind schedule. No particular reason as to why. It was just a few little things that have come about during the process. But we hope it will open May or June next year, so a year from now, maybe 13, maybe 14 months, maybe June. But hopefully permits will be issued.
Yeah.
Today's the 6th. With any good luck, we'll have permits issued maybe by the 20th, and then dirt will start turning and some trees will come down. A very minimal amount of trees, though, I might add. But we hope to have this underway in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, that's good.
And it's going
Always
to take
good
a solid
hear.
12 to 14 months to get it wrapped up.
I know. We'll be happy when Recycling Center comes.
Yep,
And keep Douglasville
absolutely.
beautiful helps us as well. You want to say anything, Miss Melissa? Okay. Well, Council, let's give them a hand and we'll come around. You need to okay.
She loves to speak.
Okay, please, audience, join us in giving Mr. Roberts and the department a hand, and we'll come around and take pictures.
They were very comfy.
Todd and Krista got to get a little closer. There we go. Okay, here we go. 3, 2. Let's go take this podium on this shot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Do one more. 3, 2, 1. There you go.
We have another proclamation, and this is going to be presented for declaring May 6th through the 10th, which is this week, as National Economic Development Week with the theme Economic Development Heroes. And we're very proud of our rock star, Mr. Chris Pumphrey. People tell me all over the state that we have a great thing in Douglasville, Douglas County, and don't let him go. So we are blessed to have you, Mr. Pumphrey and Ms. Breezy are here and your staff. So I'll read this proclamation in recognition of Economic Development Week, and then you can have words if you would like, and we'll come around and take pictures. In recognition of National Economic Development Week, whereas economic development is a vital component of sustaining and enhancing the prosperity and quality of life in communities across the nation. And whereas National Economic Development Week provides an opportunity to celebrate the achievements and contributions of economic development organizations and their professionals who work tirelessly to promote growth, opportunity, and innovation in their communities. And whereas economic development, through its unwavering dedication, strategic vision, and collaborative efforts, has played an instrumental role in advancing economic prosperity and fostering a vibrant business environment within the city of Douglasville. And whereas Economic and Elevate Douglas has demonstrated exemplary leadership, creativity, and commitment in attracting new businesses, supporting local entrepreneurs, and enhancing the competitiveness of our community in the global workplace. And whereas the city of Douglasville is proud to recognize Elevate Douglas for its outstanding achievements and significant impact in our community's economic vitality during this National Economic Development Week. Now, therefore, I, Rochelle Robinson, Mayor of the City of Douglasville, and the Douglasville City Council do hereby proclaim the week of May 6, 2024, as National Economic Development Week in the City of Douglasville. I call upon all citizens to join me in expressing appreciation and gratitude to Elevate Douglas for their tireless efforts in promoting economic growth and prosperity in our community. So proclaimed this 6th day of May, 2024. Congratulations, Mr. Pumphrey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. It's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. And yes, we do have a great team that is here with me as well, so I want to recognize them first. We do have Ms. Breezy Straighton, who serves as our Vice President of Economic Development. We also have our newest hire, Ms. Rachel Ash, who serves as our Project Manager for
Ms.
Business
Rachel.
Retention, Expansion, and Workforce. And we have one of our dear servant volunteer leaders, Mr. Phil Sisk, in the back of the room, serving on the City of
Great.
Douglasville Development Authority Board. And then we also have our legislative intern, Ms. Charlotte Straighton, sitting back here
All
as well.
right, Miss Charlotte.
So, but thank you all for this acknowledgement and having us here this evening. This economic development, is all about a collaborative effort, and we love collaborating with you all and the staff here in the City of Douglasville, and really helping make Douglasville one of the best places to live, to work, and to play. And so, there's with that, we've had a lot of intentional efforts in our growth here in the community. We haven't just grown by quantity, but we've grown by quality. Douglasville and Douglas County have outpaced the region in wage growth over the last 10 years. And that's a testament of not just being about quantity of growth, but the quality of growth and the skill sets that are coming into the community. As a result of kind of some of our direct efforts, our work has contributed over $47 million to the local taxing jurisdictions here in Douglas County. That's Douglasville, Douglas County, and the school system just over the last 5 years. And we couldn't do that without you all's support. Part of the proclamation here was honoring our heroes, and so we are honoring a few of our volunteer heroes in the form of our board chair. So our board chair, Mr. Leslie Chu, for the City of Douglasville Development Authority, has been a great leader for that group. Mr. Mike Stevens for the Development Authority of Douglas County, and then Mr. Gary Miller, who's our chair of Elevate Douglas. And so once again, we just thank you all for having us here and continuing to support us, and we look forward to continuing to have some great things happen in this community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pumphrey. And for the FYI for citizens, the City of Douglasville and Douglas County was featured in the economic development issue of Georgia Trend for 2024, the April edition. So we have probably 6 pages or so. So it's really, it shows about our town green and the
Great Point Studios.
Great Point Studios. I know I have to get used to the name. We changed it a couple of times. But so just exciting to see some of those great things that were featured and bringing recognition to us all across the state of Georgia. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for your team, and we really appreciate you. If you all don't mind, if we can give them, clap them up, and we'll come around and take some pics. Thank you all for your patience. It's always good to recognize and give honor where honor is due to people in our community. So thank you for allowing us to hand out those proclamations. Now we'll move on to item number 5, which is approval of the agenda. I will open the floor for a motion for the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for May 6, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved by City Council Member Miller N. and second by Mayor Pro Tem Miller T. to approve or the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for May 6, 2024. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns as it relates to this agenda item, council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving item 24-128, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. 24-128 is unanimously approved. Now we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. I'll open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of the April 11th, 2024 legislative work session and minutes of the April 15th, 2024 committee meetings, executive session, regular meeting, and executive session, item 24-129. Open the floor for a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Miller. It's been properly moved and second to approve the minutes. Do we have any corrections, deletions, or any concerns as it relates to the minutes from council members? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving item 24-129, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Item 24-129 is unanimously approved. Now we'll move on to the consent agenda. I will open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Estes. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. It's been properly moved by Councilman Estes and second by Mayor Pro Tem Miller to approve the consent agenda as presented. Do we, council members, see any concerns, comments, corrections to the consent agenda? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to Economic Development Committee. That's item number 8, and that is Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. Finance Committee, the Vice Chair. Let me see. I'll just ask Mayor Pro Tem to take that item, please.
No problem, Madam Mayor. There's no business at this time under the Finance Committee.
Thank you, sir. Housing and Community Affairs Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes. There has been a addition.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We have one item on the agenda tonight. Item number 24-160. To authorize the city to sign a letter of support for one application for a GIC low-income housing tax credit. And we have Marissa Jackson here to,
Hello. I have one quick update since the 5 o'clock meeting. We were able to check both sites.
hold the mic down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I have one quick update since the 5 o'clock meeting. We were able to double check and neither of the sites had any code enforcement violation. And I wanted to reiterate that the letter is worth 1 point towards the DCA application.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Does anyone else have any questions or comments before we proceed? Okay. First of all, I want to thank both projects. Both are deserving, and it is painful for us that we can only authorize a letter for one. So I would really stress the importance of whichever one does not get our letter this year, keep trying. We definitely would love to support both. But, so we have now been given ballots, and I would ask for each council person to check their selection and then sign the page. And then we will place this up here for Ms. Jackson to come collect.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Chelsea Jackson, 6695 Church Street. Thank you all for completing the ballots for the housing item to authorize the city to sign a letter of support. I will read out the ballots and the council person as to which way they voted, and at the end, I will let you all know the total vote. With Councilwoman Danley, she voted for Douglasville proper. Mayor Pro Tem Terry Miller for Highland Park Senior Village. For Councilman Estes, he voted for Douglasville proper. Councilwoman Hudson, Highland Park Senior Village. Councilman Davis, Douglasville proper. And Councilwoman Miller for Highland Park Senior Village. So we have 3 votes for Douglasville proper and 3 for Highland Park Senior Village.
Wow. I think that shows you that you both have the support of council. And by our charter, when there is a tie among the council members present, the mayor casts the deciding vote.
What?
So, Madam Mayor, it's up to you to break the tie.
This is very difficult. Okay, there is a tie, and it's like the Academy Awards. You're both winners because you're here. I'm going to choose one of the developments, and I'll say, I'm choosing Douglasville proper. And I'll say that, first of all, because they received the highest score from staff with a rubric that was presented, as well as they did apply one other time. And Highland Park, this is your first time applying. I do believe that they've had their facility longer, and so they're probably in need of the renovations more than the senior facility. I can stand in line and get my AARP card and get a discount at Ross as well for 55 and older. I'm in the senior group, so I do understand that there is a need for senior housing. We do have 3 senior housing facilities that are coming online in the city of Douglasville. One on the north side with Golden United Methodist and New Horizons Community, one in Councilmember Miller, Mayor Pro Tem's ward on Douglas Boulevard, and by Chick-fil-A on Doris Boulevard, Doris Road. So we have 3 senior housing availabilities that are coming out of the ground. If you drive by Walgreens, you can see the one on Doris Road now. So that is why it's like Mayor Pro Tem so eloquently put it, it's like Solomon splitting a baby in half. You couldn't decide which one. So I'm going to move with Douglasville proper because of those reasons. You're both deserving, but I do think that because you've been here longer, their application is coming to an end, and they've applied once before and did not receive it the first time. This is their second time applying, and this is the first time for the other facility. So I will read the item and insert who I've chosen. And thank you, council. It is very difficult, and it shows that we really cared about both projects. That's why there was a tie. So authorize the city to sign a letter of support with Douglasville proper, Douglasville proper for their application for a GIC low-income housing tax credit. So I open the floor for a motion do I have to do that, Ms. Chelsea? Still vote on it even
I
though?
would defer to our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
Or Mr. Dawes? So we don't have to vote a second time?
We do,
Or we do?
we do.
Okay. So you all now, we have a tie, but I'm going to read the name, so I don't know if it's going to be a tie again.
No, I think you just simply read.
Okay.
Approval for that one.
Okay, so I'll read the approval. Authorize the city to sign a letter of support with Douglasville proper for the application for a GIC low-income housing tax credit. So I put that in form of a motion for approval. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman, Dr. Bird Danley and Councilman Estes. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 24-160 with Douglasville proper being awarded the GIC letter. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Douglasville proper is awarded the GIC letter. Congratulations. Thank you. So we'll move on then to the next committee, which is Legislative Intergovernmental Committee chaired by Mayor Pro Tem City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. I will move on to the next committee, which is Personnel and Organization Committee chaired by Councilmember Howard Estes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Personnel and Organization Committee has no business this evening.
Thank you, sir. Planning and Development Committee chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening for planning and development.
That's a shock, okay? I know. Public Improvement and Beautification, City Councilmember Nicole Miller as well.
And Madam Mayor, we have no business there tonight either.
Okay, Public Relations Committee chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety Committee chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
No business, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, if you would please take Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee.
Yes, Madam Mayor, there is no business at this time under the Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Technology Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. Transportation Committee chaired by Councilmember Dr. LaShawn Burdanley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under Transportation tonight.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Other business, do we have any other business to come before council tonight from the elected body? I don't see any. Thank you. Updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Our staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our police department, our deputy chief, Davison.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief JR. Our city managers department, our deputy city manager, Ms. Chelsea Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. Just a couple of announcements. Just a reminder, you do have Food Truck Mondays that's going on currently. It ends at 8 p.m. Just walk out of the Douglasville Conference Center. You'll see them right there. It's about 4 trucks setting up, as well as they have music and a couple of games as well to enjoy for everyone in the family. Also, you do have a Ward 1 Town Hall meeting that is tomorrow. Starts at 6 p.m. It's at the Arbor Station Clubhouse. And also, you have a downtown master plan public kickoff meeting, which will be held on Thursday at the Douglasville Conference Center, and it will start at 6 p.m.
Okay, lots going on this week.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, our
Thank
deputy
you.
city manager. Do we have comments from citizens and delegates? If you sustain the meeting and you'd like to speak to us, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to talk to us about any business germane to the city of Douglasville. Okay, I don't see any. Well, thank you all for coming this evening. If we don't have any other business to deal with this evening, this meeting is adjourned.
This is it. This is it.
No problem.